What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Fix my microphone here. If you can hear me all right, put a 1 in the chat. I'm just going to set up the timer for just a minute. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Sarah. What's up, Ronnie? What's up, Sarah?
Ready to stop over snacking without feeling hungry? Crawl.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I don't know what it is. I've got to fix the lighting in my room. For some reason, it makes it look like I've got red hair, apparently. But if it looks good, I'll take it. But I think I need to change the bulbs or something. I think they've got kind of like an orange hue or something, which is really weird because I've got blue walls. I'd see it if I had like an orange paint or something that would kind of give off the orange reddish look. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to play around with a few things and see what I can fix on that. But no colored hair, just regular brown hair. I do typically like to dye it black, which will be coming here soon. And yeah, sometimes I do like a violet, and then it kind of turns into red sometimes. It kind of looks pretty cool. Yeah, orange hair. Yeah, if it looks good, I'll take it. So yeah, as you guys know, I have been super sick. Absolutely just the worst flu I've ever had. And when I moved out here, I just recently moved out with my aunt. It's almost been 2 weeks now. And when I came out here, she got sick shortly after I moved in, and she was experiencing some nasty flu-like symptoms. And sadly, shortly later, I started catching something and started experiencing the same things. Nasty cough. Well, actually, the cough came later. It started with the fever and the body aches, which was huge. And I actually did like a little short live I uploaded. I think some of you had seen it, where I tested the thermometer, and I it was at I think at like a 102.7. I think I even like hit a 103 at one point. I can't remember the last time I hit a fever that high since I was a young kid. And it was pretty bad. I said I was kind of delusional at that point, but so there's three members of my family here, and or there's three of us. There's me, my aunt, and my cousin, and so it started with, yeah. God, wouldn't surprise me if it got up to that level, 105.7. But I think that's because I had it in the mirror. But that's why it looked like 105.7. But no, so it started with my aunt, and then her son, my cousin, he got it third, and we all just kind of experienced the same thing. And so over the weekends, I tried to rest, but it was so tough because one of the things with this flu is that, you get your typical body aches, but what was so crazy about this particular strain or bug or whatever you want to call it, it was like in between my fingers, like hurt. It was so odd. Like I could feel like the pain in between like my fingers. It was, it's never felt something like that before, and don't ever want to. It was the worst body aches I've ever experienced in my life. So of course we thought COVID, and then I started losing my taste and everything. So I did one of those tests that you can buy, for a couple bucks. And I think my aunt even had a couple of free ones, the COVID test. I took it. It was negative. She got so bad because she had trouble breathing that she ended up in the ER a few days back. And so she got checked out and she had a test done and it came back negative. So so my thought process on this, because I know some people are half and half on when it comes to if COVID's real or not, but I know a few people that are nurses and been on the front lines and told me this is, COVID is real. But I think there's just strands that are just as bad and quite identical, that have the same symptoms and can be just as deadly. So, and then of course, I think one of the reasons why people were skeptical about the numbers they were using as far as the deaths, because it wasn't just COVID deaths, it was all deaths related to the flu. They were attributing that to COVID, and so I think that's when some people felt like, was this not, is this thing even real or not? But yeah, Lori says it's real. I lost family. Yeah, I'm sorry, Lori. But yeah, I could see just the strand that I had and what my aunt has is, it's brutal. And I even did a live show, I think Monday. I don't know if you guys caught it, where I didn't talk much, but we watched the, what was it? Kagan Klein, the little transcript and everything. And before I started the show, I kind of felt good and I thought I'd kicked the fever. But when I got ready to start the show, all of a sudden, it started hitting me again, the fever. And so once the live show started, I'm sure you could tell, I wasn't in the right mind. And yeah, as soon as I got off the show, I went and tested again, and of course I was, I think I was back up to like a 101 or something. So, So after that, Tuesday and Wednesday, I slept pretty much all day, and then fluids and everything. And yes, I feel a lot better. Still feel a little under the weather, but I feel like I've kicked the fever. And my aunt, like I said, she was negative. She did have some other thing with her lung that they found, and needs to be more checked out. So yeah, I feel really bad for her about that. She's real down about that because they found something in her lung that could possibly be cancerous, but we'll hope for the best. And she, hopefully maybe this happened for a reason, and they were able to catch this and they can treat it, ahead of time. So, anywho, that's my sad story. Anyway, everybody's getting a little bit better, and I appreciate everybody for the support. Yes, and she does have pneumonia. Yeah, she did get pneumonia. But yeah, so she's on an inhaler, but she's doing good. Yep, she's home resting. So, yep, been going to the doctor. So, and she's still young. So she for the most part is healthy. So I'm sure she'll pull through. It's it's happened to everybody. So it's but we just gotta stay strong and support each other. And yeah, I appreciate all the prayers and everything. You guys have been so amazing. So let's before we get into today's story, let's get into the missing. And this is Riley Seacrest from Roosevelt, Utah. That's close to where I live. And she was last seen on the 8th, which is just a couple of days ago. And so she reportedly was going to Florida with a 25-year-old man. She's 13. And she's with a 25-year-old man named Justin Woodruff from Washington area, and has been named a person of interest. So, so she could be anywhere in between Utah and Florida. So we need to keep, yeah, pneumonia, fluid in lungs. Yeah, that's scary. Yes, thank you, Savage Gamer. Yeah, I feel a lot better than I did, and still got a little ways to go, but having slept for 2 days straight really helped. And I'm slowly starting to get the appetite back because that was rough. Just couldn't taste anything. So, but what's up, Copper Horse? What's up, April? Thank you guys so much for helping out. So yeah, I know. What was she thinking going? Yeah, that's I guess that's the younger teenager girls, I guess. But at least they have a name of this guy and where he's from. So hopefully, instead of just having one name, of just her, they have two names. So they got two routes to go with that. So hopefully, they'll find them. So there is that. Let's see, where are we gonna jump? So yeah, so there was some information that came out about the newlywed couple, and which I found quite interesting. And so yeah, we're gonna play that right now, Sarah.
Major update in a case that we've...
So just a quick overview for those that just let me before. Oh, also, gosh, before I get too ahead of myself. So as you guys know, I've been trying to ramp up the internet and everything because I want no more buffering issues. I've got the router right next to me and everything. I just recently turned on closed captions. So for those who are hard of hearing, you should be able to have closed captions right now during this live show. So hopefully that'll help, and we'll keep that going. I am going to do a couple of tests because we know when I start running Google Earth, that causes buffering. So I wanna test that out and make sure that everything is running smooth. But just to give a quick backstory before we get into the new information. So the newlywed couple of Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner, they were camping in the Sal Mountains on August 12th and encountered what they call a creepy man, and had moved closer to their camp. Yes, they're on. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Kelly Sue. Thank you for telling me that. That's amazing. Awesome. So they were experiencing this guy, who they call a creepy man, hanging out around their camp. Let me know if this buffers. If it buffers, please let me know, guys. I'm real curious to see if I can Google Earth while going live here. So, Sal Mountains. Let's see if this will cause any buffering at all. What's up, Cray Cray? Still says excellent connection. Sweet. Perfect. Alright, let me zoom out here real quick. Let's see where I'm at here. It's going just a little slow, but it still seems like it's holding up, which is great. Let me punch in Whispering Oaks. Ranch. Is it still going good, guys? Buffering. It's buffering a little. Okay. Alright. That's okay. Alright. I guess just Google Earth is just, yeah. Well, Hippie, I think this case might be getting solved sooner than later. I'll be honest with you. And I'll get to that in a minute. Okay. Well, we're moving up, though. So I'm able to do the closed captions now, which is good without it having to buffer. So we're getting better. I think once I hardwire the Ethernet in, I think I should be okay with running the Google Earth. So we'll have to put that aside for a minute. I was just going to tell the story from Google Earth, but we will have to wait on that one. So anyway, just the short backstory on these gals real quick here. Yep, it should should be good now, guys. So anyway, so this is Kylen and Crystal. And so anyway, yeah, so back to the story. So they were camping on the 12th in the Sal Mountains. And they had experienced a creepy guy. And apparently he had left. And they thought he wasn't coming back. But he came back a couple hours later with more food and more clothing. Yeah, it'll catch up, Melissa. It should get better here. And so they they spent the night, August 12th, and this is when the whole creepy guy was howling at them, and the one girl was howling back, and they were out sleeping in their hammocks, and apparently they saw this guy actually like walk up to their tents, and luckily they were in their hammocks off to the side somewhere, and so of course that just totally freaked them out. So the next day, on the 13th, they came back into town. They went into the Woody's Tavern, and so they were talking with their friends, describing this creepy guy who played the flute at night and made him feel uncomfortable, and also said that if something were to happen to him, that they had been murdered, which is really disturbing to hear now that we know what's happened. And so after spending some time at the tavern at about I think it was about 9 p.m. or something like that, they headed to a friend's house for a little bit, and then they ended up going back up into the Sal Mountains. I'm assuming they probably went to a different location, a different campsite. And that was on the night of the 13th. And so they went to this spot here. And they were camping right here. And sadly, they were not heard from the following days. Each girl did not show up for their shifts, and so a missing report was put out for both girls. And so a friend of the family finally decided to go out on August 18th. So 5 days later since they were last seen. And she went over to this spot here and sadly had found their bodies and reported it to the authorities. And so that was last year in August. So, and then since then, this case has been pretty quiet. Other than just hearing about the creepy man and the flute. Not much has really just come to light. Local law enforcement has been real quiet on this case. And then they finally put out a short statement not too long ago in February saying that they have video surveillance evidence, and also they have multiple persons of interest. So that was good to hear. Then about a week ago, we heard that there was a particular person of interest that they had pulled over, and he had like a bloodstained jacket or something, and was acting weird and wasn't answering the questions, and was acting suspicious. But since then, they have said that he was not involved in the double homicide. So now we come to today. Well, actually 2 days ago, they had a thing on Court TV where they said that they have got some new updates. So let's take a listen to this.
Been tracking a case that we've been asking for your help in solving. It's a case involving newlyweds who were shot and killed in Moab, Utah. When I say that word Moab, you probably think of Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie. That's where we got that body cam footage of that couple when they were there. Coincidentally, right around the same time they were there, Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner were shot and killed. Now, Lauren Steinbrecher, great reporter with our affiliate KSTU in Salt Lake City, Utah, has more on this story for us tonight.
With positive vibes and nothing but joy in her smile. To Bridget Calvert, her niece Kylen Schulte was a ray of light.
Her having such a beautiful soul, to see it complemented with someone like Crystal, that they could really enjoy life and do it together.
Kylen and her wife, Crystal Turner, got married 4 months ago, loved living van life, and called the outdoors around Moab home. Many people knew the couple around town, which is why when the two were no call, no shows to work, it was clear something was wrong. The family, all out of state, say police searched, but it wasn't until an acquaintance drove out to the South Mesa area and the Sal Mountains that they discovered the horrifying news.
She was on the phone with my brother when she pulled up to the car. She looks at the site and sees a body and tells my brother that he sent a text that said it's Kylen and Crystal.
The Grand County Sheriff's Office confirmed the two women were shot and killed, they believe, by someone else.
The evidence that we've gathered at this time, that's what it's led us to believe was an isolated incident.
That's all they can say for now. Bridget explained how friends told them the couple mentioned a man creeping them out near their campsite.
Saturday that they met up with, they said they were going to go move. They were going to pack up and move their campsite. That it was like he was still creeping them out.
The family is hoping someone can help them find answers.
What is very uncomforting is that there 100% is a murderer on the loose.
A murderer who took 2 lives away, but the family says will never put out the light, the love of Kylen and Crystal.
We're going to let their love light shine, that they had the most beautiful love, and that light is not stopping.
Okay, folks, if you have any information on who killed Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner, pick up that phone, call the Grand County Sheriff's Office. This is an open case. No one has been arrested. That means there's a killer out there. 435-259-8115. 435-259-8115. Now, as I mentioned at the top, we've got some new information tonight, and this may very well focus the information that investigators need and who may be able to help find this killer tonight. Let's bring in our guests. Joining me tonight in Redlands, California, retired police commander, host of the Profiling Evil podcast, Mike King is with us. He is down there, bottom right. Also, in Salt Lake City, Utah, the private investigator hired by Kylen Schulte's family, Jason Jensen. He is right next to me. And with us in San Francisco, California, Kylen Schulte's father, Sean Paul, also with us. Welcome to you all. Thank you for being with us. Sean Paul, our deepest condolences to your family. We've been covering the story from the beginning, hoping to help you find an answer and get the justice. But really, we feel so, our deepest, saddest condolences for you tonight. But I want to begin with your investigator, Jason Jensen, who folks are very familiar with on our show here. Jason, I understand there is some information tonight that makes this much more precise in where we are focusing our attention. What can you tell us about the murder of Kylen and Crystal tonight?
Sure, yeah, I'd love to. I mean, for months now, we've been talking about a date range from the 12th to the 14th and really asking the public to, come forward with any video or anything they may have collected over that time period. But now we've had an update where we're more focused on just the late hour morning of the 14th, which was the Saturday of August, where what we're hearing, we've been hearing rumors for a while now that that there was, at 11:35 that morning, there were gunshots heard and screams. So we didn't know whether to accept that, to believe that or not. But this morning, from a more reliable source, closer to the case, we've heard that indeed that was what was being collected. So now what we want is anybody that was in the mountain, those Sal Mountains that day, specifically around the noon hour, they may have traveled by this guy, and maybe there was an erratic driver or somebody that cut him off, or something bizarre about another vehicle that was bizarre that caught their attention. Regardless if there's video or not, we would like them to come forward and describe the vehicle for us.
Yeah, so I think they're really hoping something kind of like similar to the Gabby Petito case, where, you know, you have the red, white, and Bethune van family coming and happen to catch the van, you know, on that particular date, and was just huge in helping help find Gabby Petito's body. Was just huge. And so I think this is kind of the same thing, is that they're hoping there was somebody maybe driving along that route or in the mountains during that time, especially around noon, because I think the incident happened at 11:30. So, and we'll learn here. So there's two big things that we learned in this program. The first one is obviously the 11:35 a.m. And then we're going to get to the second big piece.
This is huge. Sean Paul, your thoughts tonight and looking for help from the public, and what type of information you are looking for.
I think so too, Michelle. I think so too.
Vinny, thanks for doing such a great job of covering the case. I watch you all the time. I respect you and your show. Thanks for doing this. I do appreciate it. The family's kind of a little bit shocked to find out the timestamp today. Okay, that's news to us. So emotionally, it was a very trying day today for myself. As far as what we hope to gain from this new knowledge, it's to fine-tune our search criteria.
Hey, Lady
so
M.
that the millions of tourists that pass through Moab can fine-tune the time that they're trying to look for a vehicle or dash cam footage, etc. So, you know, I had assumed this whole time for 6 months now that it happened in the middle of the night.
And now we know it was the middle of the day. Absolutely.
Broad daylight.
Broad daylight. It's scary. And it's...
Yes, Russian Aloha. Yeah, as a matter of fact, especially with Moab and stuff, because you had Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie. They were out, you know, going to check out Moab. Coincidentally, pretty much the same day that this event happened with the newlywed couple. Kind of small world, I guess.
And it's disturbing on many different levels. Jason Jensen, before I get to Mike King here, I know that you also shot some video for us. As we take a look at it, tell us what we're looking at, and again, remind folks who may be watching tonight what we are looking for. Let's take a look at that video. We'll roll that video, and you tell us what we're looking at. I think we have it. There we go.
So after it's coming up here, where he's going to talk about the other, yes, the poor father, I agree. But yes, after they show this little bit of aerial footage is when he's going to talk about the other kind of new details.
Go ahead, Jason.
This is drone footage from a Twitter account user that has been really close to the case, has been following along, doing a great job, really getting the word out there. His handle on Twitter is L2000. And what this is actual aerial footage. In the lower right corner, we had just passed the actual crime scene. And this is just a skyward view of the surroundings. You can see that is the county road that travels nearby. and it really shows the mountainous, the really isolated nature of this case. And right here in the lower corner is where the crime actually occurred. So not much happens here. And now we're coming up to the main, the LaSalle Loop Road. This is the road that most of the travelers would be traveling on. There, for instance, is a camper going up towards Geyser Pass. And if you go to the right from here, would actually be to the Whispering Oaks Ranch, which is where a wedding on the day of the 14th was occurring. See, and this is another angle. This is as you come down towards the camp where that fifth well is about.
I'm going to show you just real quick because I have that picture up. So what you're looking at is the camera is like facing this way. So all the vehicles are like right here and stuff. But notice these two trees right here. And then notice the bend. So you see you got these two big trees right here. And the girls were found about right in here. But yeah. Yep, just about right in there.
The location where Kylen and Crystal's Kia Sorento was parked, and then just over to the left of there was their tent, and then to the right of that second clump grove of trees is where we believe that the creeper dude was camped at.
Mike King with us. He's not in Utah tonight, but that's where he usually is. He knows all these areas very, very well. Mike, your thoughts tonight about this new development, the time of day of 11:35 in the morning. This double homicide takes place. The significance of that to you, and do you think that could help the public in, hey, listen, oh, wait a minute, I was there around noon?
It absolutely can help the public in trying to go back and look at video that they might have in their vehicles, GoPros if they're out hiking, or folks like this drone pilot who happened to be up catching information. Now, the thing that's really interesting to me, and Jason is to be credited for really bird dogging this thing, is that 11 o'clock in the morning is something that would be more significant because of the organizational level of a crime like this. And of course, the way that crime scene looked and some of the things that we've been able to see and talk about would really suggest that it was a pretty disorganized crime scene. Things fell apart pretty quickly, and what happened didn't fit this fantasy that the predator had in mind when all of this happened. What this is gonna really mean for us in the community is that this offender most likely left the area in a disorganized manner, probably really driving quickly, erratically. One of the things I noticed in Jason's video was that there looked like there were good cell towers in the area, so I suspect that there was good broadband connectivity that might be helpful in also being able to capture and share. So the question is, will people go back and re-examine if they were there on the 14th, all of their video, their home photos and video, and see if they come up with something that just kind of gives them a little bit of an itch? And if so, turn it over to the sheriff's office.
And
yeah, I confiscated the pin. Sorry.
Everybody who was at that wedding, please check your phones. Make the call. You may have seen something. I want to go back to Sean Paul.
So, well, that's interesting. So that's the new information. I know. That's my ADD. I apologize, guys. You don't realize how much the mic picks up. But yes, that the scene was disorganized. That this killer, his original plans did not go the way he wanted, and so it's very interesting. I've seen some channels mention that could it be a relation to Delphi even, kind of same thing, except just different. I mean, they never released how the two young girls, but yeah, with these newlywed couples being shot, but you have two females in both cases, the Delphi and the newlywed couple. It's a slim chance, but it's definitely a possibility. But so let's finish. I think there's just a little bit more here
John,
they talk about.
Explain, and this is what I ask a lot of family members to do in this part of the program, but I think it's important. Explain to folks watching tonight what it would mean for you to get that answer, that someone tonight maybe goes through their photos, their videos on their phone, and they see something, and they find something, and they make that call that helps catch a killer.
I can't put it in words, Vinny. I cannot put it in words how much it would help me start to be able to move forward. This is 6 months of torture. It's every day I have to relive this. If someone came forward and said, oh, heck, at high noon on Saturday, there was this guy, I thought maybe he was on his cell phone and he was looking at his cell and he almost ran me off the road, and he describes a vehicle to someone who just kind of stuck out in their mind that, wow, right about high noon, geez, we were going up the mountain to go goof up at Warner Lake, and we saw a car come around the corner, pretty crazy. Well, what was that car? I mean, it would mean the world to me. I can't even tell you, Vinny. I can't express to you how much that would do for me and the families.
Oh, poor guy. So I think this gets... This is about it. Let me see. I don't
Just
think
get
there's
married.
any...
They're living an adventurous life. I mean, you can tell how happy they were, and then.
Yeah, so I think the rest of this is just kind of talking about, before the incident and how well the two girls just loved each other. And Kylen took in both girls, because he had his daughter Kylen, and took in Crystal and loved them as if they were both his daughters. That's what he likes to refer them as, is both of his daughters. So, but Iowa bridge, newlywed murders, no bridge, but yet 5-year maybe, like the Zodiac. Yeah, it's kind of close. Yeah, no bridge. But hey, Sherry. But yeah, I mean, it's not out of the realms of impossible, two females murdered. And so there's one more thing that I found very interesting. So where is that? Here it is. So the guy at the top right, Jensen, the PI, who's been working very closely on this case, he put out a tweet. It was, I want to say, on the March 6th, somewhere in there, early March. It's only been 4 or 5 days ago that he had this. Let's see, when's a good show? I don't know what to say, but anyway. So let me read this. This is huge. So, hi all. I'll be on a VIP Saturday at the Rocky Mountain Gun Show. I'll be there for sure. 11 through 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. If you want to meet and greet, meanwhile, while there, I'll be purchasing another 9mm handgun, the same style gun we suspect to have been used in the Moab murders of Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner. So we can do our latest round of ballistics for the Grand County Sheriff's Office and FBI. If it's a match, we will have strong information in support of whom we think killed them. God, we pray for their successful test. If it's a match, we will have strong information in support of whom we think killed them. So that's a pretty big statement to put out. So I think these guys are closer than we actually may know. And it would be so awesome if that is the truth. But DJ Rage, what's up, buddy? So yeah, that's exciting. Because they've the local law enforcement's been just very hush hush with just everything. And it seems like whenever they put something out, there's always something bigger that's going on, and it just kind of gets overlooked because it just I don't know. Sadly, it's just how it works with news, But I think, like I said, they had the multiple people of interest. They did have to let go of the one guy, but sounds like they still have at least one person of interest. This could maybe be the one that Jensen's talking about, and they're doing some ballistic testing, and could it match up, and this could lead to this guy. It would be great. Would be amazing. As you guys know, I live real close to Moab. It's about 3-4 hour drive from where I'm at, but I've always said that if it warms up, I'd go out there. If it if the case is still gone unsolved, I would love to go out there and maybe take a look around, stay at the Bowen Hotel. That's the same hotel that Brian Laundrie stayed at, and it's just real close to everything. It's Moab's not that big, so. And see, here's Woody's right here. And the Bowen Hotel is just literally just up this road right here, like 5 minutes away from the Woody's Tavern. So that does it for that. Yeah, I know they've been looking into that too, David. Definitely have been looking into like pawn shops and stuff for sure. Melissa says, "Chris, go there." Yeah, if it warms up, it's been Utah's been one day it's great, and then the next day it's super chilly and snowing. So we still need to get through, I think, March, and then I think get spring coming, and yeah, that would be a lot of fun to go down there and check that out. But speaking of stuff in Utah, before I get into that part, let me just cross this off here. So, as you guys know, that any donations coming through the super chats and stuff, that we're going to be doing 35% will be going to the refugees for Ukraine, and we're up to about $85. So I thank you guys so much who have donated so far. It's a huge help. And I was looking into some places because I've heard Red Cross, but I found one. And I just wanted to show you guys. So this is kind of the one that I've been looking into. And before I do it, I will make sure that I do all the research before we send any money in But this is called Project Hope. And so far these have raised $500,000. And so it looks like they've got medical care, hygiene kits, just your basic needs that go out to these refugees. And so I've been looking at there's a couple of them, but it looks like Project Hope has been a big one. So, and I'd seen somewhere about that Streamlabs, they'll match up to 100,000, but it may look like they've already hit well over that. But I'm still looking, but I think this is probably going to be the one that we do. I think we will split this up because, I'm sure they need some money. And so I think instead of waiting till the end of the month, we'll do 2 donations. So we'll do like a bi-weekly donation where we send in. So we're just about at $100, and I think once we hit that or a little over, we'll send that in and do what we can to support those poor people in Ukraine, because it's just an absolute travesty what's going on there. Mercy Chest bought $200K in baby formula. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, God. And then they, sadly, they hit that the children's hospital recently. Just absolutely terrible. I just can't get behind this this whole war here. So another thing I wanted to touch on is Skinwalker Ranch, which I will be going to when it warms up. And it just happens that my cousin that I'm living with now, he has a good friend who is part Indian and actually lives on the reservation that surrounds the Skinwalker Ranch, and has crazy stories to tell, and I might even have him on the show. But he's gonna invite me out to his ranch, and I am so excited. And oh, thank you, Copper Horse. Let's get the donation going for Ukraine. Thank you so much, Copper Horse. Yes. They could use all the help for sure. Thank you, Copper Horse. Please show Copper Horse some love. She's been so helpful. Chris, how's to donate to Ukraine? Not sure how you understand, Peggy. Chris, how's... Oh, how am I donating to Ukraine? Yeah, so I will be through a charity. We'll, like I said, we're gonna let some of the money build up. We're getting there, Darlene. Thank you so much, sweetheart. And then 35% of that is gonna go. And we were at $85, but I'll have to do the math, and but that will. That's definitely over $100 now. So thank you so much, Darlene and Copper Horse. All right, I need to take a sip here. Yes. So yes, Skinwalker Ranch. No joke. My buddy Nick, his one of his best friends, is part native and lives on the reservation that surrounds the Skinwalker Ranch, and he has actually stayed there. And so, and they've got stories already that they've been telling me, and maybe one of these times I'll have them on the show. But we are definitely going to go out there, and I'll be able to stay on the reservation, which is so cool because some people don't have that access to get on an actual reservation. And so, and for those who are not too familiar with Skinwalker Ranch, it's a ranch that is here in Utah, and before the land was owned by Indians, and they wanted to curse the land because it was getting taken from them, and so they cursed it with the what they call Skinwalker, which is like a shapeshifter. And so there was some farmers who bought the farm, which they called the Sherman Ranch, and they encountered UFO activity. Oh, how do I donate to Ukraine on your show? How do I donate to? Either super chat. Yeah, they put the links right here, Peggy. So PayPal, you click the button where it says super chat. Yeah, if you can't afford, please don't. I know some people are on budgets. Some people, are living off Social Security. If you can't afford it, please don't. Because that would just, I wouldn't feel good about taking money that you can't afford. But Peggy, I know your heart's always in the right place. And just because you can't donate doesn't mean you're not important. Everybody on this channel is important. Just being here. But, just, I can get with you after the show if you really want to. Where was I? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. But anyway, so with the Sherman Ranch, they experienced UFO activity, paranormal activity. It drove the ranchers off the Terry and Gwen Sherman. They only lived there for 2 years and ended up selling the place to a Robert Bigelow, who was I think he was a billionaire at the time, and he actually bought the place for scientific research and brought in scientists and stuff to study all these anomalies, and it's really interesting. And you can find some of they got shows on Netflix, YouTube, History Channel. There's a lot of different videos out there of the Skinwalker Ranch, but it's pretty interesting. It's very rare for a company to come out and actually hire scientists to investigate UFOs and paranormal activity and everything and be open about it. So it's pretty cool. So a lot of the activity happened in I think 2000s and just before that. I think it was in the late 90s, mid 90s to early 2000s when the activity was kind of at its peak. But yes, I would love to still go out there and check it out because it's quite fascinating. So then let's see. So what was the other thing I was going to touch on? So I know I keep saying this, the Members Only Live coming this Sunday. It's going to happen. I don't care if I'm on my deathbed. It will happen. I'm stoked. Other than trying that Google Earth, there was no buffering, so that's great. Because what we're trying to test is, because we've got the best Comcast, but if we need to, they just installed Google Fiber throughout our streets, and so if need be, we could always switch over to Google Fiber, which actually I think is going to be cheaper anyway, because Comcast is just way too much anyways. Which is sad, because I like Comcast, but they're I don't know, in my opinion, they're scam artists now. So yeah, Kim, I'm getting over one of the worst flu bugs, along with my aunt and my cousin. It is brutal. But I feel better than I've had in a while. As long as you come back from the ranch, yeah. We'll be doing filming. I will be going live for sure. I don't know how the service is out there, but I know another YouTube. I know another YouTube channel went out there, and I think they did go live. So I think there's definitely some decent service out there. So I'm excited for that. So I think that'll probably do it, guys. Thank you so much for the donations. And yeah, Comcast prices are crazy. They are. Yeah, I have fiber optic. Yeah, way better. I'm kind of excited myself to get that, because it'll be better and cheaper. So, but yeah, it would just be nice to get out there and do some paranormal stuff, since I haven't done any videos for a while, just because it's just the bad timing of being sick and moving. So, oh, Starlink. Yeah, I've heard Starlink. Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, thank you, Kim. Yeah, get a little better. Yeah, I had a fever of 103, and it was pretty scary. Not gonna lie. So I'm gonna take these off for a minute. So I've been putting these on. These are to protect the blue light from the screen. You know, I've been trying to wear those a little bit more, protect my eyesight. So, all right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Copper Horse, you are so amazing. Darlene, thank you so much for your guys' donations. And yeah, so what's today? Thursday. So yeah, you guys are all so awesome. No drama in here. I love it. And like I said, we're gonna be. I'm gonna throw that pin away. I'm sorry. But I'll be doing phone calls real soon. Like I said, I wanted to do the members only live to get me acclimated with taking phone calls. But that is the next step. Next week we'll be doing phone calls during the regular shows. You have my word on that. So, because I like I said, I've been dying to hear what you guys have to say about all these cases, so we can have a discussion about it. So, all right, guys. I hope you guys have a great night. I love you all. Thank you guys so much. Thank you everybody for the donations. And yes, God bless you all.